Hello, everybody. Welcome to Have At It, episode 48. My name is Ben Cornett, and as always, you can catch me on X at BennyBoy702. And you're watching this on my YouTube channel. It is Ben Cornett 9015, as well as on Facebook in the Ben Zone and on X, BennyBoy702. How is everybody doing tonight? I'm doing very well. Last week we took a little bit of a break. Recharge the batteries a little bit, but we're back here tonight and we're going to have at it because this is a big weekend. As you all know, unless you lived under a rock, there's a football game, a big football game this weekend called the Super Bowl. That is Super Bowl 58. And ironically, it is where I live, right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Allegiant Stadium, Sunday afternoon, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific. It is the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers taking on the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs. And, why not? Might as well be. It's a very enticing matchup. Two very good teams. Both earned their way to Las Vegas. The Chiefs, they play out here pretty much every year because they play the Raiders. They're in their division. So they're used to Allegiant Stadium. The Niners, they're not too far away from Las Vegas, just a few hours flight. So, who's got the home field advantage? I know it's a neutral site, but seems like the Niners, you would think, they got a lot of fans, might have a home field advantage, but so do the Chiefs. They got a lot of fans as well. They got one fan who is right now, I would assume, is headed on a plane out here to Las Vegas from Tokyo, Japan, where she's finishing up her tour. I think you know who I'm talking about, so I'll leave it at that. But anyway, it is Friday night. Let's have it. I got my tasty beverage right here. As far as let's get right into it. This is going to be a very good game. I see this kind of as a low-scoring game, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's going to be too high-scoring. I think both defenses are pretty damn good. Now, you could say, well, with Detroit, that was tough. They did give up over 30 points. The Niners did, their defense, but they were able to come back and win that game. Offensively, they're a juggernaut. Meanwhile, the Chiefs, they've pretty much done it with defense. They held a very good Baltimore offense to 10 points. Yeah, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to 10 points in that game. It's pretty impressive when you think about it. Considering that the Ravens, were blowing out some good teams this year in the regular season. Think about this. Detroit, they were in the NFC Championship game. They got blown out by the Ravens earlier in the year in Baltimore. Same with Miami. They were in the playoffs. And Baltimore pretty much blew them out. I mean, for the Chiefs to hold a team like the Ravens to 10 points is pretty impressive. That's been the key to their success in the postseason. Really go back a few games before the end of the season. That Christmas Day loss to the Raiders. I think it woke them up. I think they realized, this offense can't carry Mahomes. And that offense cannot carry the Chiefs by themselves. The defense, we got to do our part. And, Chris Jones, McDuffie, I mean, they've just been playing lights out. And I'll tell you, man, going on the road to win at Buffalo and in Baltimore, that's impressive. No matter what you think, no matter what you think of Mahomes and the Chiefs, give them their due. They've earned it. I thought Baltimore would win that game, but they did not. So the Chiefs going in here pretty confident. They feel like they can stop this 49ers team, and they certainly have a chance to. Meanwhile, the Niners, they've gotten here with their resilience. Think about this. They were behind in both games against the Packers and the Lions. And they came all the way back in the second half. It's pretty impressive. For me, though, the Niners cannot fall behind in this game against KC. They just can't. You know, as much as I like Detroit, and they're a pretty damn good team, and they're going to be back. You know, shout out to Alex Loosemore, or Lions fan, my co-host on NFL Edition. The Lions secondary is not very good, and it got exposed late in the second half of that game. Green Bay is a young team. They're just new to this stage, and you know, they're going to get better, but the 49ers experience, their resiliency is what got them here. But now you're going up against a KC team who they're a little young as well on defense, but they're very good. They are very good. Their secondaries, like I said, with McDuffie, very good. This team cannot afford to fall behind early because they will not come back on the Chiefs. Mahomes he's just too good of a quarterback. Pachenko's too good of a running back. You know, Travis Kelce, say what you want. You know, still a very dangerous tight end. Valdez-Scantling, good receiver. I mean, you know, Justin Watson, former Buccaneer, another good tight end receiver. So they are dangerous. The Niners have to get off to a good start in this game. They cannot rely on, you know, second half comebacks. They just can't. Otherwise, they're not going to beat the Chiefs. And for the Chiefs, their defense has carried them. And that's going to be the key to, you know, that saying, defense wins championships. And that's very true. So they got to stick with that. And like I said, Mahomes makes some plays. You know, the Niners, I know they're going to be blitzing. They're going to try and just pressure Mahomes. They also got to stop the run game. You know, they got to stop Pachenko. He can't get going. You know, make it, you know, like what the Bucs did a few years ago against the Chiefs. You know, make Mahomes have to make plays. You know, stop the run and force Mahomes to be uncomfortable in and out of the pocket. That's going to be the key to beating the Chiefs if you're the Niners. So, yeah, those are my keys to the game. With that being said, I'll give you my quick prediction. I am going to go with San Francisco. I said it Monday on Sean and Janae's show on Let's Talk Football. Shout out to them. And said it last night on NFL Edition with Alex Loosemore. I'm going with the Niners 24-20. I feel like this is it for the Niners. Their window may be starting to close a little bit. And yes, the Chiefs' window may close as well. But they still have Patrick Mahomes. And as long as they have Mahomes, they're still going to be contending every year. He's just that good a quarterback. I can't say the same for Brock Purdy. You know, he's a good quarterback, but he also has a great team around him. And with the Niners, you know, pending free agencies coming up, with the being over the cap money-wise, they're going to make a lot of changes. So, you know, and for Shanahan, this is pretty much it for him too. Think about this. You know, he's been the, you know, Super Bowl a few years ago with the Chiefs. Had a big lead on him, then couldn't get the job done. As an offensive coordinator for the Falcons, big lead, but, you know, couldn't come back. You know, so this is it. And that's not all on Shanahan down in Atlanta. That was Dan Quinn. But you know what? You're getting what I'm saying. This is the big games, the big moments. You know, this is it for Shanahan, I think. He's got to get it done. Otherwise, you know, he may be in that Dan Reeves category. You know, getting to the Super Bowl but not winning one. You know, that's not really a label you want to have as a coach. And yes, Shanahan's a great coach, but, you know, at the same time, if you want to be a great coach, you got to do what Andy Reid ultimately did. He ultimately won a Super Bowl. Remember, for years, Andy Reid couldn't do it. Well, he eventually did. Now it's Mike Shanahan's turn. You know, this is his opportunity. And this may be the last great opportunity he has, especially with this team. So I think the Niners, they know that, and they're going to do it. In my opinion, they are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs 24-20. That's my prediction. In the comments section, you want to put it in there, put your score down, and tell me who do you think is going to win. And speaking of comments, oh my God, we got a lot of them. Let me bring it in here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go with Facebook user here. And that would be, where are we at here? Baker Mayfield should be comeback player of the year. I assume that's Corey Brown. Corey, thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. I do agree with you on that. Baker Mayfield should win comeback player of the year. Yep. Jim Melvin, thanks for tuning in tonight. How you doing? Do you agree that Mahomes will be the best player on the field? To me, he will end up in the top 5 all-time among quarterbacks. I think he will make the difference, and the Chiefs will win a close and exciting battle. Jim, I'm going to tell you something right now. If Mahomes wins his 3rd Super Bowl, we got to start having these conversations about being one of the greatest QBs of all time. We just do, because this will be his 3rd one. The only other quarterbacks that have more than 3 Super Bowls are Tom Brady, Joe Montana, and Terry Bradshaw. I mean, that's an elite group of quarterbacks. Troy Aikman has 3 Super Bowl rings. I mean, you're talking about the elite, the best of the best. And Mahomes, I mean, if he gets number 3, I mean, hey, you got to put him in that group, especially when he's only been in the league for 7-8 years. To do what he's done, that's impressive. And you could say, well, the majority of that he's not had to play a road playoff game. True, but guess what? This year, he played in 2 of them, and he won both of them. So, he's proven to the people, he proved to even to me. I didn't think he would make it, this year, because they had to go on the road, and this would be a real big test for him. Well, he passed with flying colors, and that's that chip on his shoulder. Like the great quarterbacks have it. Tom Brady had it, and not football related, but the late Kobe Bryant, he had it. The killer instinct. It's, never settling. Just win, win, win. What do I got to do? What do I got to do to win the next one? It's always about the next one. It's not about, I got this one. It's always about the next one. That's what separates the greats from the goods. It's going after the next one. So if he wins number 3, he's going to be in that elite exclusive group of quarterbacks in the NFL. So, yeah, top 5. I mean, if he gets number 3, I mean, it's hard to argue, but I wouldn't disagree with it. Facebook user let's see. That would be Corey again. KC Chiefs better not drop past like regular season. That's true. Yeah, that's right. Good stuff right there. Scott Thaler, CMC, will be ineffective in the Super Bowl. Well, Mr. Thaler, we'll see about that. McCaffrey is the best running back in the Super Bowl, and they're going to use him a lot. He's the offensive player of the year. And, Kansas City's going to have to stop him. And so far, their run defense has been pretty damn good. I'll give you that. So, now it's their biggest test, stopping CMC. That's a tough task, a tall task. So they better be able to do it, because that's, Kansas City's going to win the Super Bowl. One of the things they have to do is stop Christian McCaffrey. Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive back secondary better than the Lions. I don't know about that, Corey. I mean, it's okay, but from what I saw this year with Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean, nah, I have my doubts. Well, speaking of not having any doubts, let me bring in a man who made his glorious return to our our eyesights tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to have this guy on our show. He's got some amazing stuff going on. I'm going to let him tell you about it. All the way up north of the border, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Foods.
Hi.
Mr. Sobel, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Do I have to put a shirt on?
You know what? This is have at it, so just do whatever you want as long as you don't stand up.
Hi.
Hi.
How are we doing?
We're good. How are you doing, man? By the way, great show tonight, bro.
Thank
Great
you.
show.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, dude. You got good stuff going on.
Thank you.
New
Yeah,
project.
I've been away for a while. I've been hiding.
But not anymore, right? You're
No,
right up.
No.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more chilled out right now because the kids are obviously sleeping and stuff like that. But I saw that you were live. I saw that there's a StreamYard link. I wanted to send a StreamYard link to all my fans as well, but I kind of ran a little bit later than I wanted to. It's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm even better that you're making your appearance tonight. Big game coming up, bro. We got a big game. This is it, dude, for the 2023 season. It's gonna suck for a while after that, but hey, life goes on, and I'm telling you. Oh wait, we got one more person. If you don't mind, let's just bring in this nice little threesome.
Uh-oh.
Don't tell Kim. We're having a little threesome right now. But, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Scott Thaler. Scott, how you doing, bro?
Doing pretty good. I just wanted to come in real quick and show you my cookie predictor.
Was that in the dollar section of the store? You know, where they put stuff like the day of?
No, this is right in front.
Oh, right in front? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had the ones with the Super Bowl emblem on there too, the 58 emblem. But
Okay.
I had to see Chief one. I should have gotten
Are you gonna break that out tonight, or are you gonna wait till the big game on Sunday?
No, it's Sunday.
Oh, it's a Sunday. Okay. All right.
Sunday I'll be drinking beer and Fireball and
Fireball.
There you go. Man, now we know who you're gonna pick, Scott. I mean, that's not the question, but what's the score gonna be?
at 28-31. Kansas City.
Okay. Close game. I expect a close game too.
I predicted a field goal in the last 35 seconds from Kansas City to win.
By Bucker, I should say.
Yeah.
Bucker. Okay. All right. That's good. No, I can see it. Mr. Faubert, how about your predictions, sir, on this show? I mean, I think we know who you're picking, but why don't you tell us, for the people that did not catch your show tonight, who you got winning?
I mean, for money purposes, I got the Chiefs at least to cover the 3.5. But for straight up winner, I would probably still take the Chiefs. This is going to be a good Super Bowl. The final score, I got 30-27. I'm going to stick with my early season prediction that I made because, I mean, it got me this far anyway. So.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead. I mean, by the way, everybody who picked the Niners and Chiefs, he was right on the money from the start of the season. So He called it. Props to Mr. Swirlberry. Got it.
But also, listen, at the same time, let's not overshadow the fact that I did say the Panthers would go 10-7.
Yeah, that. I mean, the price and hype, was it really that hype? Or
for me, it was more like I thought the defense was going to be able to like keep them in games and like let them like rookie out. And sorry, I'm trying to make my camera like at least be somewhat freaking. Am I going this close? Is this good as my light? There we go. Let's go this close.
Nose hair. Yeah, good.
There we go.
I did predict the Rams would make the playoffs.
You did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And they did.
We all did very much not believe you at all.
Yeah. And Andrew, I thank you for that one show where you pointed out that I did say that.
Yeah, no, you did. Yeah, he's literally the only person who gave the Rams.
No.
So I didn't give the Rams.
Let me give you my prediction. I picked the Bucks to win the division this year, and I turned out to be correctamundo. 9-8, but again, it was a weak division. I'm not gonna lie. You know, that's why I picked them to win the division. So,
Yep.
But anyway, we're good on our picks. All of us were. But now we'll see what happens Sunday. I'm the lone wolf here out of the three. I'm going with the Niners. You guys are taking the Chiefs, and that's okay. That is okay with me.
I am so mad that so I had money in my account for gambling and I pulled it right before I should have made that. I was so dumb, but I pulled money out and I wanted to bet on the first song, like for Usher, like what's he gonna come out to? And as soon as the damn friggin' announcement of Usher was sent, I was like, he's gonna come out to "Oh My God." Like, oh my God, hey Vegas, check it out. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, and I look at the original odds, they're like plus 450. And I'm like, oh, like, I can't wait to go and do that, take that bet. Now it's like plus like 104, 105. I'm like, ugh.
Well, I think everybody knew he was going to try and do that one first, so he kind of switched it up a little bit.
I got people at work who've never, like, they don't watch too much football. And they're like, Andrew, I want to bet on the Super Bowl because you talk about it all the time. I'm like, uh-oh. Not good.
Okay.
I told them, like, $25. Just put $25 and I'll do bets for you. Like, just don't do anything too crazy. And I got three of them were like, it's going to be, yeah, is the first song. And I'm like, no, he's not coming out to yeah first. He's not, like, if it's the Usher halftime show, so it's going to be Usher first for like 2, maybe 3 songs, and then we're going to get yeah or My Boo or Shorty Like It Hot or whatever the heck that one song. Like, we're going to get something right in the middle where he's going to slow it down or have the collabs and stuff. But he's not coming out to yeah right off the bat. Like, come on now.
Because they call him USHERYA YMOND.
I want him to play Burn. I really want him for like 2 songs to just slow it right down. Like, just the whole arena just go dark and he'd be like, I think that you should let it burn. Just get right slow with it.
Absolutely, bro.
Did you put any money on Travis proposing to Tay-Tay on the field?
There's so many. It was like what, plus 1,800 for the Chiefs to win and him to propose. I'm like, I need way better odds if I'm gonna make that kind of a bet. Like, come on now.
Benny boy, or a cool kind of guy. Let's have at it. Thank you, Sean Spencer, for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it. You got Scott's score right there. There it is. That's what he told us just a few minutes ago. We also got, I like that score and agree. That's with the 24-20. I don't know, Scotty boy. Okay. And we got, I don't believe in Kyle Shanahan time management answer. That's Mr. Corey Brown, I assume. Corey, thank you for tuning in again.
Corey Brown.
Scott. And let's see. Millie from Mr. Scott Taylor.
No, from Sean.
Yeah, from Sean. Millie Bobby Brown, if you don't know Andrew. That's a little private chat we thing for Millie Bobby Brown. 11 from
Okay, I was like the chick from Stranger Things?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The one that just turned 18?
No, she's like 20 now.
No. Yeah. No.
By the way, we should talk about that on one of your. You should talk about that on one of your new shows, Andrew. By the way, why don't you tell us, man? Tell us, because I'm going to be sharing your show on the Ben Zone, and
I appreciate it. This freaking book just I keep writing. I got to keep writing. So like, I guess it's a lot easier to talk when I'm not like all hyped up for my show and on cocaine and stuff. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. I'm doing a show called Foobs, a Nostalgia Show. It's basically a show dedicated to movies, TV shows, music, pop culture references from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. Basically, it's something that it's a dream project of mine. It's something I actually wanted to say on the show too, but I didn't get the chance to. I totally forgot. I was like, I got so many things to say on this show now. It's a dream project of mine that I've had for a while. if you guys remember from like MTV and Much Music back in the day when they used to have like really good shows and actually played like music videos and all that kind of stuff. And
They did.
yeah.
I was there an inception of MTV's.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Like, for example, too, like the Oscars and the Emmys before they got a little bit too,
Commercial.
Yeah. All the things that we kind of grew up and we loved, and with a lot of these movies kind of being, CGI and multi-million-dollar fuck ups and stuff like that. It was just kind of a passion and dream project of mine to finally get something out there that kind of reminds everybody like what good movies were, what good music was and stuff. So a lot of it that you're going to see, I'm going to make it an 8-part series. The way it's going to be done is every episode is going to be essentially a year. So, like I'll have 2012 as a year. I know 2009 will be a year, and a couple other ones I'll obviously keep secret. So you'll think of, kind of like back in '69 that the MTV used to do that show, and a combination of all the things that used to do and make it my own and kind of remind everybody again of what the good old days was and have some fun with it. Top 10s. And I'm going to have a Spotify list out too, because I'm going to have my top 101 songs of all time that I love, that I think are just like beautiful songs. So I'll put that as a Spotify list, and every episode we'll put the new songs on that so people can go check that out. And yeah, so it's just gonna be cool, and all the pop culture references and stuff like that. And when I say it's not an easy thing to make, it really isn't. Especially like most people would get paid from say like a YouTube channel or something like that. And I frankly it was just like fuck it. I just want to make it so it's out there so that people can enjoy it and go back to it and clip it and have it. So yeah, passion project. Look out for Foobs and Nostalgia Show coming soon. I don't know when the heck it's going to be, because I'm also working on the sports history shows that I'm going to be doing, and I also have another side gig that I'm more than likely signing up for. So yeah, goodbye personal life. That's going to be, I dedicate now to sports and movies.
Well, man, I cannot wait, bro. That's going to be fun to watch, man. It will definitely, everybody, it's going to be on the Ben Zone. I'm sharing it.
Appreciate it.
Please support this dude right here. He does some great stuff. So I am wishing him the best of luck, Andrew. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to go on that journey.
I do have a commercial that is going to come out in a couple weeks here. I have to edit. It's cute. I got the kids involved and stuff like that. So.
Oh, nice. All right, man. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Reed has 2 Super Bowl wins. Yep, he does. Sean Spencer. Ooh, look at this one. 49ers 27, Chiefs or 29, Chiefs 17. So he's got this one by 2 scores. This is interesting.
Sean, are you kidding me?
I to be honest, yeah, they have a bet for if the Super Bowl is going to be a scoregami. I can't remember what the odds are, and I'm like, I for a Super Bowl to score to never have happened, I'm like, I could definitely see that.
Okay, let's see. Can Mahomes win a Super Bowl without Andy Reid if retired? That question near future. Yeah, that's a very good question. That is a very good question. I think he can. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I can't say that about a lot of quarterbacks in today's NFL, but if one guy can do it, it would be Mahomes with a different coach. But we'll see that, and that question may be answered sooner than later because Reid, supposedly, we've been hearing the reports, this could be his swan song. We don't know that yet. Nothing's confirmed or anything, but go ahead, Mr. Filbert.
You know what they would probably do, and this is like just sound weird, but they would probably, because most guys, especially when you have a quarterback of that caliber, do like promotions from within. I wouldn't be surprised then if that happened. If Reid retired, Matt Nagy became the head coach, and they brought Eric Bieniemy back into the OC.
Yeah, I mean, you need that familiarity, and again, we'll see how this plays out. But I mean, no matter what, even if the Chiefs lose, Andy Reid's still a Hall of Fame coach. He still has 2 Super Bowls. I mean, the guy is one of the greatest coaches in the modern era. So without a doubt, he's got his place in Canton down the road. So first ballot, in my opinion.
Good luck to the sculptor that's got to get that mustache right.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, it's got to be perfect. It's like Jimmy Johnson's hair. It's the Jimmy Johnson hair on the face.
The Tony Dungy head. It needs to be that perfect little button looking that. It just needs to be perfect.
Right. I know, man. Have fun with that, sculptors. Let's see. Sean Spencer. If Mahomes loses, then he'll be more LeBron than Jordan. I don't know. He's got 2 rings already, dude. I mean, Brady's the Jordan of our NFL, but I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, but
if he loses, I think he'd be a little bit more Kobe. I think. I know Kobe didn't. I think Kobe only lost one. I don't know. Wait,
he lost 2.
Two times in the final, so he went 7. Okay, so because then I think he would have some similar stats later on. So I think Mahomes. I don't think Mahomes is going to have too many losses in the Super Bowls that he goes to, and if this is one of them, watch out for the NFL script writers to try and get both of these teams back for a 3rd time, because that would just be absolutely incredible. But I don't know. Yeah, it's a good one because I mean, a lot of people put LeBron now as like 2 over Kobe, and I can kind of get on board with that. But at the same time too, everyone wants to crown Mahomes if he wins this Super Bowl the GOAT already, and I'm like, are we seriously having that discussion? Like, I think at most we have the discussion right now is if he wins the Super Bowl, is he better than Joe Montana? And I think at that point you can say, I think he is.
That's tough. Joe never lost a Super Bowl. And he's had the comebacks too. Let's think about that too.
That's
the comebacks
true.
in the Super Bowl. So, but he's definitely, like Jim Melvin said, definitely you'd have to put him maybe top 5 at number 4 or 5. I mean,
and it's funny. I've thrown the Joe Montana thing out there a few times. So like, can we just calm down and like have the Joe Montana conversation first before we get to the Brady? And I totally overshadowed and kind of like forgot that Joe did like it was 2 comebacks in those Super Bowls.
Right. Yeah.
And like the one obviously is the most iconic, and then one's got the catch and stuff, and even a couple in the divisional rounds too. So I'm like, Patrick was more like dominant, and Reid kind of kept the game in their pace for most of these games. Patrick hasn't necessarily had to come back except for the one playoff game against the Bills there. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's very interesting.
A very good point.
Yeah. Jim says excellent points on Mahomes, Ben. Appreciate that, Jim. Thank you. Let's see what else we got here. Regular season. Yep. This is big. I know, Andrew, you're not too thrilled because when's it gonna? You're waiting for that. NFL's coming to Canada in 2020 something.
Fucking never.
Well, they got the CFL.
Oh, come on. Don't do that to me.
You gotta do that to me, man. I don't mind. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the CFL. Like, it's not that bad. But I just wish the CFL had the ability to give more money so that we'd be able to attract like a couple players a little bit more from like the UFL or something like that. Though, don't get me wrong. I am excited to see what the UFL is going to do.
Yes. And that's going to be big, because I like how they combined it, just make it one league.
Yep.
You start with 8 teams for now. That's a good starting point. And then when it grows, if it grows to something, then expand a little bit, go to 10 teams, just little by little. But I want this to succeed because, guys, we need a development league.
You do?
We need a developmental league, and that's the one thing the NFL's been lacking. That if there's one weakness of the NFL, it's that. Where the NBA has a D league, Major League Baseball has the farm system. Same thing with hockey. Andrew, they have the farm system there to develop, players. When they get to the NHL, they're already, playing in professional hockey games. They're ready to go, So the NFL, I just want this thing to succeed. The UFFL, UFL. I want it to succeed, and that way, year after year, we get more players from the UFFL to the NFL, and you know they're going to be ready to go. So yeah, I can't wait. It starts end of March. I'm ready.
These like Kurt Warners of our time and stuff like that would actually have a place where they wouldn't have to be in a grocery store and have these random moments of chance, I guess you would say. Is you'd actually be able to be scouted in the day and age where you have people like us who literally go through tape all the time just to enjoy a hobby of ours that we do. All of a sudden you start becoming a facility that gives a little bit of money for stuff like that, and you can scout these guys and you can have these guys be looked at, and they can be trending on social media for some cool passes that they do. And like Kyle Trask, for example, I know he was the backup in Tampa and stuff, but like the 2 years that he was technically behind Brady, like, can you imagine if he was in a developmental league?
Yeah, no,
right?
Yeah, I mean, it would be definitely beneficial,
Yeah.
And it's too bad. I mean, we see now, you were talking about it tonight, with the draft pick, Caleb Williams, Drake Mays, are they ready for that level? Because they're going to be called upon, whoever they go to. You're the guy, like right now. You're not going to be the guy a year, 2 years from now. You're the guy right now, and that just adds a lot of pressure, man. And that's the thing, like that's why you see so many busts in the NFL. And obviously, some quarterbacks maybe aren't meant to be great quarterbacks in the NFL, but if they have that developmental time to develop, like let's say Justin Fields, for example, look how good he got at the end of the year. He started to play better. Now, if you get pieces around him, you might have a chance to succeed. So, but when you get thrown into the fire like that, it's just so tough, man. And the UFF, the UFF,
UFL,
only one F.
Let's pay for it. Pay for it.
I also agree. I also agree because in a weird way too, like you look at right now, some of the names of players that were thrown out there, like Joe Flacco got basically picked up off the couch and thrown into the fire. And it's not the same that would be said for like Brady or Phillip Rivers. Like those guys have already proven themselves, and I guess Flacco has in a weird way too. But if the Birmingham, right? Birmingham Stallions, correct? That's that's one of them. If say Cam Newton was playing there, he still gets to showcase. He doesn't have to play like in the arena football or anything like that. Doesn't have to go up to the CFL like Vince Young did and, get kicked out of training camp for being overweight and stuff like that. Like if he actually had a developmental league that also acted the same way, say the NHL one did, where it's like you can be signed and then drop down to that league for developmental purposes. But say for Cam Newton, he's not playing on an NFL roster, but if he said, okay, let me go prove this out in a league here for a season or two and see what I can do. That's where if the CFL were to ever join in or, something like that, like a good example is Scott knows very well is with the Battlehawks. Like St. Louis would be like, like say, imagine, and this is just like as a joke, but like say this like 8 years ago, Sam Bradford, all of a sudden, like for the Battlehawks, right? Like he's coming in and just slinging it. And like the LA Rams, then at that time, because that would be their, link to the NFL. They're like, oh shit, Sam, we're going to bring you in as the third stringer or whatever, right? And then, he beats out somebody in training camp to be the backup, right? And everyone's like, oh shit, Sam Bradford's back, right? And then all of a sudden something happens to Stafford and then Sam Bradford, wins a couple games and stuff like that. That's the type of stuff that you want to see. That's the type of stuff that you want to hear about is you want to still see some of these quarterbacks that you a little bit and then just go and put him in the developmental league and have these kids who got to go and develop. Now you get to develop against, some good talent, like say Cam Newton, who's looking to get into the league. You beat him and stuff like that. You're basically in, right?
Yeah, and it's not just for quarterbacks, guys. It's for receivers, for linemen, offensive linemen, defensive line, to develop your skills, get better each week, each year. So I'm excited for it. Let's see. Jim Melvin, who succeeds and who doesn't in the NFL is a crapshoot. Free agents prove that. But one relatively common denominator is having an NFL-ready body, not necessarily being huge, but bone structure, muscularity, etc. That's some good points. I mean, yeah, some people are born to be athletes, I mean, it just is what it is. And, but I just feel like players can maybe stay in the league longer if they develop in a farm system. That way they'll have some experience under their belt. When they get to the next level, it's an easier transition than happen to, go on the fly your rookie year. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, but Jim, you make some pretty interesting points.
Yes, he does.
This one I do like. The NFL need up roster to 56 or 57 players. I don't disagree with that. 56,
but yeah, they need to up it up a little bit, or at least like allow like a middle ground where like 3 players could technically be dressed like for a game, like more. You know what I mean? Like, but in a weird way, it's still like 53-man roster, but they come in for emergency purposes only. But they, practice with the team, and you stretch with the team and stuff like that. But they don't go out there. I can see that too.
A good example, like Houston earlier this year, their kicker was out for a couple games. They didn't have a kicker. Ironically, the Bucks, when they played us, they didn't have a kicker in the second half, and they still beat us, which was unfortunate. Yeah.
Also, finding out from the Kelsey podcast that Travis is the backup long snapper for the Chiefs. So,
oh, there you go. Look at that. He does it all. Long snaps. Got a tight end. Hey, what is Taylor not seeing him? I mean, what can I say? Christopher Cole, thanks for tuning in. Our good friend, Mr. Cole, Bucks fan. I'm watching WrestleMania 2 back in 1986. Oh, I love it.
Nice.
Love that. It is WrestleMania season, by the way. So we are going to dive into that on Facebook Deals.
I have a question about that. Just because I'm the outsider. Like I don't know like, too much and stuff like that.
Go for it,
like I even find myself like yesterday when I got home. I'm like, okay, there's a couple things I need to go online and find out. I need to find out what the Kobe trophy statue looked like.
Yeah.
I need to hear what Putin said. And he don't like us right now. He don't like Canadians. He don't like Trudeau, that's for sure. And I don't blame him. If we had a fucking Nazi in our parliament getting a standing ovation too, which I totally get it. Like I'd fucking be mad too. Totally get it. But the third thing was the WrestleMania shit going on. Because I'm like, I don't know the full thing, and I'm like, but I know that Cody Rhodes was allowed to pick his match.
Yeah.
But was going to allow like The Rock to fight him because of this whole family bullshit, blah blah blah.
Right.
Okay, but who's the other? This the Seth Rollins dude, right? So
Right,
Seth Rollins was on the stage because he's got another belt, like basically the second better belt.
He's the world champion, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Reigns is the universal champion. So
it's basically the undisputed championship and the heavyweight championship from back in the day, right? Just different names.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out is so like Cody fights Roman.
Okay. Yep.
Rock goes heel. And is there a host? Is there like a co-host or anybody for WrestleMania? Like, is there anybody this year that has like power to do anything?
No, not really. No, they haven't had they don't have a WrestleMania host per se.
Okay.
Rock right now in real life, he's on the board with WWE and TKO. TKO owns WWE and UFC, so The Rock's on the board.
Okay,
that's his job on there. That's why he's back in WWE.
Okay, so that's what I figured. So then here's my pitch, I guess is what you would say, because I'm interested in it too. But like, you have the matchup
Mm.
of Cody and Roman. And Cody goes to pin Rock. Or sorry, Cody goes to pin Roman. And it's basically like it's done. Like he's done him. Like he's done. And
The
it's
champ.
Rock. Yeah, it's Rock that comes out of nowhere. It like ruins it. Which full heals it, which I think we kind of all see happening. But here's the fun part that I think when it's all said and done,
Mm.
Triple H comes out and is not too fucking pleased with the way that The Rock addressed him, obviously on Thursday. And Triple H and him start yipping at each other, and they do their iconic standoff. And they will have a match, is what I think will happen.
Now, okay, only one problem.
Okay.
Triple H had a heart condition, so
Okay.
he's no longer an active wrestler, so he can't compete.
Okay.
So that match would pretty much be impossible to do, only
So-
because Triple
that-
H is
Yeah, so that heart thing though is like 100% sure. Like
right, and doctors have pretty much told him can't do
you
any
can't
in-ring activity. Yeah,
That fucking
No.
sucks.
yeah. I mean,
That's-
otherwise it could have been. You're right. That could have. That's a very good possibility. But
Because I even like to myself, I was like, I think it'd be kind of cool. Because what was it with the Pat McAfee one? What 2 years ago when Stone Cold came out and like stunned
Right,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. I'm like, how cool would it be if like all of a sudden like it was Triple H that was yipping at him and stuff like that, but then Stone Cold comes out and starts yipping at both of them, and it's all three of them that start looking at each other, and all of a sudden we get like a three-way match between them, like at one of these things eventually. That would like I'm like, you can have The Rock go full heel, you can have Stone Cold go full heel, you can have Triple H say fuck this company. I wouldn't even care to see those three old dudes go at it one last time in a three-way match. I'd be all for it. I would buy the pay-per-view. I would be all fucking for that.
that would be very interesting. Yes,
That would be so cool.
and then all the beer. Imagine all the
Oh
beer.
my god! You think? I mean, yes. Like, okay, yeah, because whoever wins at the end of that match, Stone Cold would probably throw beers with all those guys and stuff, and then maybe iconically get the stunner both of them before he walks out and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be
What
cool.
a scenario that would be, wouldn't it? Man.
So yeah, technically the Rock wins, but like Triple H like single-handedly like owns them the whole match and stuff like that, and so the Rock wins, and then Stone Cold technically gets the last stunner. So all three of them technically win anyway in that final match. See, I know I'm an outsider. Like, come on, look at us. We're planning this shit properly.
Yes. Hey, no, it's all good, man. I appreciate your insight, man. I like that.
totally forgot that Triple H had that heart shit. Damn
Yeah.
it. Damn
No,
it.
I know. It's too bad, man. I think it could have been something if he could still go.
He faked it like the ankle thing back in like the 90s.
God damn it! He fooled us all, man. Ugh. Oh man, that would be like the ultimate, like
That would be dope.
wouldn't it? Like
That then all of a sudden I'm taking wrestling just a little bit more seriously.
all right. And I could tell Scott Thaler is taking it very seriously too. He's not even said a word, and he's
Scott?
listening
I don't
to.
go for all that fake shit.
Hey, listen, I agree that it's fake and all that kind of stuff too. But listen, to go out there and actually pull off the stunts is
Yeah,
not fake.
it's entertainment.
That's all it is, and I enjoy the entertainment.
Just
Been a
like
fan
my-
for over
Just like
40
the
years.
Bachelor, Bachelorette, the Golden Bachelor, the Golden
That's-
Bachelorette,
That's not entertainment though. That's,
Farmer Wants a Wife.
why does it keep getting?
Come on, really? You watch that stuff?
You watched Farmer Wants a Wife, Ben. I know you did.
No, I
Wants
didn't.
A wife.
No. It's
Oh
no.
my God. They got some really good looking gals on there.
Is that why you watch it though? Like, 'cause, like
Yeah.
I guess like I have one, so like I don't necessarily need to watch this stuff.
I've got a good looking wife too, but she's 67 years old.
What is that supposed to mean? She's 2 years away from having a great time.
I'm having a good time already because I'm 69.
I am not having
Oh,
a
there
good
you
time
go.
because I look fucking blurrier than like a 30s movie right now. Like, what the hell?
What'd you squirt on your camera?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Ew. Gross. David. Gross.
Need a wet wipe on her. There he's getting it off now.
No, I'm still trying to.
Might need a putty knife.
See a little more DNA right there. There you go. Okay, let's get that off there. So let's
If he
see.
sprays something on it and it turns purple or blue, we know what's going on.
Oh man. Let's see. There we go. Triple threat match. I can see that. Christopher Cole says I can see a tag team match before WrestleMania. I do too. I think it'll either happen night one at WrestleMania or the Elimination Chamber in a few weeks in Australia. So yeah.
I think Johnny and I, when we do our little video chats in the morning, we should record that and then play it on a show.
Rockin' Reigns against Rhodes and Rollins. Yeah, I definitely can see that, Christopher. Like I said, it'd probably be either at the Chamber or WrestleMania night one. So should be fun, guys.
Rock's going to be awfully busy with the UFL and movies.
No different than Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I cannot wait until this is, or what is it? HBO, well, for you guys, it's Crave, but on Max, it's
I'm
The Last of
assuming
Us.
right?
You know what's coming, right? Do you for the storyline of like that show? Did you know what's coming, right?
I
Like,
kind of got an idea. I mean, I know the last scene was they're back in the town that they were, holding.
Yeah,
or
you didn't play the game or like know what comes next in the game.
honestly, I did not know.
Okay, good. You are in for one fucking hell of a surprise, buddy.
Okay, well, I cannot wait.
Yeah, because I watched my buddy play the game when it first came out,
Okay.
and I remember when it got to like that scene, and this was like 3 days in. Like I just like woke up, we would like go get snacks and shit, and he would play for like 12 hours and shit. We would just get right baked and pass out again and stuff. And I remember it got to like that scene, and I was like, "This is fucked. This is fucked."
Don't say a word.
God, dude, no, I won't.
Wait. I can wait. Yeah,
but
and it's a good show, guys. Did you ever see The Last of Us on? Do you have Max or?
No, I just got Hulu, Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus.
So everything but.
Yeah.
You have Apple TV?
No.
Okay.
I could have it on my phone, but I didn't get it.
I literally had Apple TV just so I can watch a little bit of Monarch, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait to do my the nostalgia show, because I also get to do like movie reviews and TV show reviews and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, Monarch was
yeah. The only thing I'm really looking forward to is Stranger Things.
Oh, that yeah. I still
Millie Bobby Brown.
I still me and Kim had, when the first season came out, we had it on a thumb drive. We put it on her mom's DVD, and we started watching it at 9 o'clock. I think it was the first season, and we were addicted. Like as soon as it was the RUN on the lights and the Demogorgon through the wall, I was in. I was like, whoa, you had me. I'm in.
Oh yeah.
We got to the episode before the finale. We went to bed. We woke up 4 hours later because we couldn't sleep, and we were literally like, okay, let's just watch this. So it's been the one show continuously. Like we fell out of Walking Dead. I fell out of Lucifer. We fell out of a bunch of shows that we didn't watch. And for some odd reason, Stranger Things was just always the one that we kept watching. So it was perfect.
Well, I think for me, Andrew, and I'll tell you, I'm a nostalgia guy. the 80s, I'm a big 80s guy, and the way that the Stranger Things was filmed, the way they filmed it, the character development, just all that stuff is just it's so unique, and that's what hooked me was the fact that you can take 80s, literally 80s stuff and make it feel like it's current.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and I know a lot of retro shows try and do that, but Stranger Things is true to the game with that. Make it, yeah, it's perfect. And I know we had the writer strike and everything, so things good, and we had the COVID, the pandemic and everything. But I feel in a way it was nice to have that 2-3 year break between seasons, so that way you can build that anticipation up, and Stranger Things did that. And with season 5, the question now is, with Will being in, at the end when you saw that thing come back on the back of his, I mean, like, holy shit!
The fact that a Katie Bush song can get repopularized because of a scene, not because of how, like, don't get me wrong, the song, like, every time I hear that song now, I get goosebumps.
Thinking of Max.
Because that's exactly it. Is you're not necessarily thinking about the song, you're thinking about the context of the song for the scene. And that's also it is one of, like, one thing that I've written down to put in my top 10 is, like, one of those, like, those newer heart wrenching, like, those scenes that you'll remember. And that is one. Same, like, though at the same time too, like, how many different ones did they have in the last season? Like, when you find out that the, like, who Vecna was and stuff, and, like, where he came from, and it was just like, wow.
And Will, being gay, he has feelings for Mike, but he can't do it because that's his friend. And 11, so he was living through 11.
Though. Yeah.
Right, he's living through 11. Yep. So, but I mean, but that's the thing, Andrew, like, just all those little things, those little nuances that make that show. Eddie, we were rooting for Eddie. When people were kicking him down, spitting on him, and he saved that town. Yep. He died for that town, and it's just
funny because when you watched it and you got to the Katie Bush song and you take a break for like a day or something like that because you got to go to work and you're like, I got to go back and watch, and you see from Netflix even doing, like, the trailers of the next episodes and stuff like that. You see what's coming is him with a guitar, and you're like, okay, what song is he gonna play? And what is he gonna do? And you're like, it's Master of Puppets. Like, you find that out, and you're like, oh.
That was perfect.
Yeah, absolutely perfect.
I was like, wow. But yeah, like you said, Scott, Stranger Things final season, it's going to be epic. I mean, and what I liked about last season too, the last episode was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like that. It felt like another. I mean, damn. It
was also like the Snyder Cut of Justice League when that one came out. It was like, it was, 4.5 hours essentially, but I'm like, it felt like a 2.5 hour, like, good movie. Like, this is literally the way that this movie was supposed to be done. Like, I wanted to see those Amazonian ladies, like, literally try and get that box the hell out of there, and they're just getting mowed down like it was nothing. And it kept going and going and going. And I'm like, okay, just stop. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I cannot wait.
Have you guys watched any of One Piece?
I am not a huge anime guy.
It's not anime. It's not anime. It's
what is it?
People. There's two different ones. One's the anime, and the other one is actual actors.
Where's that at? What streaming service?
On Netflix.
One Piece.
I probably won't get Netflix again until I want to start watching Lucifer from the beginning, or when Squid Games comes out at the end of the year. So I don't really think they have too much.
Watch Stranger Things on.
When the Stranger Things season finale? Isn't that like October?
It's not. It's not yet. They haven't announced it yet. I think they're still filming it, so it's going to be.
It's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm counting down the hours until this Deadpool trailer comes out.
Oh yes, Mr. Ryan Reynolds. Oh
not just Ryan. Like we're talking Hugh. Like I've heard of a couple other people that are going to be in this trailer, and if anything, what I've seen online is anything to do with the trailer. Yeah, I can't wait for Deadpool 3.
Guys, watch for the Super Bowl Sunday. That's one of the great things about the Super Bowl are the commercials and previews for the movies and the shows that are coming out.
We got for trailers. I think there's Zootopia 2 trailer supposed to drop, which like I got kids, so I'm kind of excited for when those good Disney Pixar movies start coming out. Twisters, the sequel to the Bill Paxton movie back in the day, is supposed to drop its trailer, and I'm like, I'm excited when it's on Crave and I have nothing else to watch, and I'll put that on in 2 years. But the trailer is probably going to make it look way better than it's actually going to be.
You can't remake those kind of movies, though, Andrew.
No.
That's the OG. You can't do that to a classic, man.
It's an F5. We've never seen an F5. Like, what are they going to do for this? They're going to be like, it's 12 F5s, man.
Yeah.
Does anybody watch
the graphics will be great, but I'll go ahead, Scott.
Does anybody watch that movie X on Netflix?
Not yet. I have not seen it. I got to go through the list. The last thing I saw on Netflix. Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
I'm doing my Oscar nomination runs right now. So.
Oh, okay.
Oppenheimer, obviously, I've watched. A Godzilla -1. That's the next one on my fucking list.
Okay.
I've heard nothing but great things about Godzilla -1, and the fact that it was nominated for an Oscar is absolutely amazing.
So Oppenheimer's coming to Peacock middle of February.
Okay.
How is it? I haven't seen it yet.
Oppenheimer's it is really, really good. I went to the theaters to see it. I know it's kind of underwhelming to some people with the whole like bomb thing. And I'm like, did you really expect Christopher Nolan to like actually make an atom bomb and stuff like that? Like, no. Like he was allowed to make a small replica, and you guys are getting mad that you got to see an actual explosion and stuff. Which, by the way, when you see you'll see like a cool black screen and all these different like particles shooting around in these weird little like whooshies and stuff. That's what the camera caught of the neutrons and stuff like that bouncing off each other. So all of that is actual like real. There's no like CGI to make that. That's all Christopher Nolan catching it on film. And I was like, when I heard that, I was like, this guy's on a whole different level. The acting is good, and you get to see Florence Pugh naked, so that's a plus.
Well, hey, I wouldn't be disappointed in that. But like I said, that's the thing, Andrew. Like most people just that movie, they're like, "Oh, we got to see the bomb." Like, bro, you got to watch the story. See the story. See it just play out. You know.
Yep.
You know, people just maybe it's just me, my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. People's attention span is just too narrow these days. It's like, come on, man. Enjoy the ride for a couple of 3 hours.
Well, that's why I made that status a couple days ago. I'm like, if you want to watch two good classic movies, just go watch Trainspotting and The Clockwork Orange. Like these movies are iconic, they're classic, they're funny and stuff, you know, and at the end of the day, they have the best, like some of the best actors and actresses of our time, like in those movies too. So, and movies aren't made like those anymore. And to be fair, like we don't need movies done like Ben-Hur from the 1950s, where like 1/8 population of a certain horse is completely extinct because they couldn't figure out how to actually like not kill horses for their scenes. And like things like Waterworld, like, oh yeah, let's do paper mache sets on the middle of the ocean. Like that's a fucking great idea. Like, come on now. But there's still like, I still want sets to be made. Like I still want like Raiders of the Lost Ark stuff. You know, I want the first couple of Star Wars, which they do still do a good job. I just would rather them go to the places and get the shots. And I understand that they want to go more alien and we don't have certain things that look like it on Earth. I get it. That's fine. Whatever. But still, I would rather a little bit more like iconic shots. But I also want like sets. Like Interstellar, for example. Like Interstellar set designs and stuff like that. Like those are what
we want to see, but we don't get those really anymore.
No, and you mentioned Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? I watched the latest. Well, I tried to watch the latest Indiana Jones. I couldn't finish it. I'm sorry. It same shit.
My favorite post online was, I can't tell if this is worse than the Crystal Skull or if Crystal Skull is now part of the original trilogy for me. And then this is the worst one. And I'm like, oh no. Like, it can't be that bad.
I'd rather watch the Crystal Skull.
Oh, no.
This one was just
No.
Andrew. I just couldn't, dude. I mean,
I get it. No, I totally get it.
maybe it's because Disney took it over, or I don't know what they.
1,000%.
Yeah, but I don't know. Some people might like it. Don't take my word for it. I'm just saying that's just an opinion. So,
Well, a lot of people, and I respectively, a lot of people bitch and complain because they have to add certain ethnic groups to certain movies to make it good now, or they have to add female ladies and stuff like that, and everybody bitches and complains about that. I'm like, let me tell you something right now. I am a big Alien franchise fan, but when there's obviously a very strong lead that comes out of that. If you would have told me that a Native American woman was going to helm the the Predator franchise from like going forward and be arguably better than Arnold, I would have laughed at you. And then I watched that movie and I was in fucking awe. There are good movies still out there.
yes,
And there are bad movies out there. There are people who try to fit to what is being forced into it now. And then there's A23 Studios who are literally putting out everything everywhere all at once and winning awards with that. And Hereditary and Midsummer and all those movies they did back in the day and stuff. Like, there's still people who are willing to push the boundaries on movies. You just got to be willing to go outside the norm to see these movies.
right. Yeah, and sometimes old is new again. If you do it the right way and stuff. I mean, like like you said, there are new good movies still out there, but newer stuff. But there's also good newer shows. The one I liked was Echo on Disney Plus.
I didn't mind it. I did not mind that.
No, I thought it was great because it was something different. But she was really deaf and handicapped too.
What was that? The second episode when they did the like hockey lacrosse game. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Native Americans.
Yeah.
They're playing that
Back
game.
in like the 1400 or the
That camera shot where it kind of comes out and they're following and then it stops and does like that. I was like, yo, my nip, what the hell is this? Who the hell orchestrated just this scene? You need to direct movies. I'm like, just the fact, the lighting, the only thing I hated is when like they all got to the middle and they're just like hitting the ball. I'm like, that's probably a rule, like whatever. I'm just nitpicking. I'm like, but that whole fucking scene, the background with the dude and stuff, I'm like, that right there was awesome. That was so freaking cool. And then there's some parts of the rest of Echo where it just kind of like started going downhill a little bit after that for me, respectively. But I'm like, I'll forever remember that scene. I wanted to see more of that. I would have paid to actually see that in real life. I'm like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that and the train. Remember they were at the beginning of the.
Yes,
that was awesome.
That was cool too.
Yeah, that was cool. But anyway, that was one of my new favorite shows. I just felt like you're saying, the scenes and the acting, and because she's really deaf and handicapped in real life, so it felt really good. And again, because I admire natives, I like watching stuff like that. So, to see that on a worldwide platform like Disney Plus, is really cool. So really cool.
Corey Brown saying that Taylor Swift should be banned from the Super Bowl. Does he realize how much money that she's brought in? $331 million.
Sure. No lies.
And she's bringing new viewers, younger kids, girls.
And
women.
That's the thing. Is like, why is everybody hating on that? Like,
right.
I don't see this type of hatred for the Nickelodeon stuff. I don't see the hatred for the fact that everybody had to go to Peacock to watch a single game and stuff. Like, Taylor's literally there to support a guy that she's dating. And if she ends up making an album out of them and stuff like that, then the NFL will troll her for the rest of her life. But so what? And if they end up being together for a while, that's actually also good for the NFL. She's going to get a halftime show. She's going to rock the hell out of the stadium. You think the Las Vegas ticket prices for the Super Bowl are insane? You imagine being told that the Taylor Swift is going to be at a halftime show.
Last I checked, $7,000 for the cheapest ticket right now. So
I saw where if you take your family of 4, airplane tickets, hotel, food, tickets to the game, the NFL experience, and other shows, it's going to cost you like $36,000.
I mean, that's not too bad if you did that with like 3 buddies. You know what I mean? That's kind of affordable because you get everything, but
you budget it. Like
yeah.
You don't have to go to like the fancy smancy restaurants. You can always you can do a lot of things on the cheap. Before the game, it's Vegas. You can do whatever you want.
Kind of the reason why, and it's no shot at my Buccaneer faithful, but kind of the reason why I like the Super Bowls at Raymond James Stadium, because it seems to be a little bit more affordable when it seems to be down there. So,
yeah, but again, it was 2020. It was the pandemic, so a lot of things were different.
Listen, as a person, like the second that we were going to the Super Bowl, I couldn't believe it. First of all, I was like, "Fuck, great, we're going to the Super Bowl." Now the real anxiety goes on for 2 weeks. But I remember looking into it because it was just before we went into like major lockdown in Canada. And I was like, I'm not going to put myself in a financial hole, but I am going to have to stay on like Ray Kennedy's couch for a night or on the beach or something like that. I was like, I'm going to need to make something work when I go down there. But I was like, I'm going to be outside of that stadium, win or lose. Like, I'm fucking coming. And then we locked everything down, and I was like, yeah.
Well, and Canada had a really, really, really strict lockdown too. It wasn't just one of the regular lockdown.
Yeah, if you can go to Tampa, but you got to quarantine 14 days there, and then when you come back, you got to quarantine 14 days before you can leave the hotel when you come back to Canada. I was like, I can't afford that. No fucking way.
Yeah.
So
So you didn't go then?
No. No, there is a very iconic picture of me crying when we won. And Kim came down and recorded me and took a picture of me. I bawled for like 10 minutes, dude. I never thought we'd actually, like, I was young, obviously, in 02, but I was literally ready to go my entire life being the blunt of every joke for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was like, hey, at least we got one, And back to being the Sacramento Kings of the NFL, so.
Hey, we got 2. How many teams can say that? I mean, we're in the multi. Story you, Scott. You got 2 rings.
You got
as well?
2.
Yeah,
it is funny when the Viking fans, and the Bill fans, and all those guys start getting yippee. It's just like, you don't have any. You have iconic people, and you have Hall of Famers that would probably be number 1 if they were on the Bucs or whatever. Like Jim Kelly probably beats. If Brady never came to the Bucs, Jim Kelly would have been the better quarterback out of any you could have named out of that whole entire group between the Bills. But didn't get any Super Bowls.
Well, the Rams and the Bucks will probably win a couple more Super Bowls before the Cowboys ever make it back in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a no-brainer.
Before the Cowboys make it to the playoffs, or you mean the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl?
To the playoffs.
No, the Cowboys will make the playoffs next year.
Yeah, they just won't win anything.
So, is this right? The Chiefs have been in 4 Super Bowls in the last 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
The only one that they weren't in was the one you won.
Yeah.
And they were beat by their arch rival, the Bengals.
Yeah.
Which, if Joe would have been healthy this year, this whole season could have been a whole lot different.
And the Bengals were still 9-8.
That's because Jake Browning almost won me a damn championship in my fantasy football, buddy. Like, let's go.
Oh man, what a year it's been in the NFL, man. I gotta say, it's been a great year. We're in the final 8. I'm not complaining whatsoever. so proud of Alex Loosemore, his team, getting this far. Come on, as friends, we just want one for him in his lifetime.
Fuck Loosemore. He's going to be in my house in 2 days. Fuck him and his ass. No,
Oh,
honestly, I think
yeah.
I think a lot of people would probably have the Lions as like early Super Bowl favorites for next year, even before the draft, because for a fact, like even like me, I'm like they're either going heavy on the defense no matter what, and they're just saying fuck everybody, like we're gonna start playing that game,
Yeah.
or if one of these other wide receivers falls to them, and they can sit there and have Amon on the one side, another one A B on the other side, and Williams to be your Debo and slot guy with Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, while still having Reynolds in there just in case of injuries, is one of them. What's that?
An ex-Ram.
Yeah, and like just that in general would scare the piss out of anybody going up against that offense. Like that's ridiculous. And in many drafts I've seen a lot of people do, there's a lot of tackles this draft, and there's a lot of wide receivers this draft. And they would have to get more so like a possession guy. They don't need another burner. They already have like Williams for that.
Javison, he's your burner. Yeah.
Like you don't need Xavier Worthy. You don't need Jalen Polk or anything like that. But if all of a sudden like Malik Neighbors or McMillan or Adonai Mitchell start becoming available to the Bears at 29, like is anybody else kind of getting scared? Like imagine the Chiefs get one of those, like a Troy Franklin or whatever. You imagine the Lions getting another one of them. Like fuck that.
Oh, bro, the NFC North is going to be wild next year, dude. Three teams, Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago.
Oh, Mini. I wouldn't put it past Mini to be back there again, even if they got Kurt.
I'm going to take off. Guys. I'm feeling some pretty good pain right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. Hope you get better, man. Thanks for coming on.
Next doctor's appointment's on the 15th, and hopefully they'll give me the medication I need that they should just have given me.
Cannabis is your best friend.
Better living through chemistry.
Or.
There
you go, my friend.
Ah, look at that. I got to get that.
Psilocybals.
Yes,
I remember that from the 70s.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
all right, Scott. Take care, man. I hope you get better.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right, man.
Coleman to the Lions, Christopher Cole said. Listen, Coleman is a beast, but he's very, very tall. But what I seen at the Senior Bowl, just like with his speed, he's gonna have to speed it up or get better breaks off of the ball, or he's gonna fall because I'm like Troy Franklin and these guys are going to be able to do exactly what he's doing, and they're smaller than him. So, yeah, he's good. Don't get me wrong. I know he's the Florida State guy, and everybody in Florida loves when the Gators and the Seminoles are, the picks. But
Coleman, yeah, he has his moments. I don't think it's all his fault, because they had so many good players on offense for our Seminoles. So we didn't see maybe enough of him. Maybe at the next level he'll get more opportunities. But yeah, I mean, he is a beast. But like you said, getting off his breaks on the line,
he's soft too. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, no, that's the thing. Like if he said if he went to Tennessee, because I'm just throwing out some guys there who would probably just want someone who would just go down there and jump high. And Will Levis has already shown that with D-Hop. So I'm like, if you can have him in there, that would be kind of cool. I mean, him even if he fell in the second or third round and was available to the Commanders, and Caleb Williams was, say, the quarterback there, that all of a sudden becomes very intriguing too. You can have Terry Shahan in the slot and Keon Coleman on the outside. That I don't like that either.
Not bad. I mean, Coleman, again, the speed is there. On the soft issue, I think that's more of the mental part. Sometimes he gets frustrated. I've seen that in a few of his games, whether he's not getting the ball or corners are defending him pretty well. He's going to have to be mentally stronger in the NFL because corners are going to go after you. They are going to cover you. They are, so you're going to have to outplay him. You're going to have to outplay him, and so that's where the softness comment comes in. But it's a fair assessment. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm always honest about my Seminoles and everybody else. Like there are strengths and weaknesses. So Jared Verse, I think he's one of the best defensive ends coming up. I think he's
Yeah,
going to be.
Besides Chop, he's my favorite.
Chop. Yeah, Chop and Verse, yeah. They're going to be studs, I think, in the NFL. So, man, we're almost an hour and a half, dude. Doesn't that feel weird? Like,
Hey man, listen, it's my Friday. I was like, I'm gonna do a show, and then Kim went and grabbed snacks. I was like, I'll pop your show on because I saw you go live, and then I saw the StreamYard link. I was like, oh fuck, I haven't talked to some sports guys in a bit, so I'll pop in, say hi.
Well, I am glad you come on tonight, man. I mean, this was breath of fresh air, really, because not only do you got your stuff going on, but you're gonna have new projects, dude. I'm excited about it.
I'm gonna be happy when they're done, and I can just put them out. But yeah.
Oh yeah, but hey, dude, no rush, dude. Like you said, time's the key. That's the key. Patience, and man, it's gonna be worth it, dude.
Yeah, I
always
hope so. I fucking hope so. I mean,
We're
it's a lot of work, but like I said, it's a lot of work for something that it's a passion project. So, but thank you for having me on.
All right, and Andrew, one more time, let's tell them where we can find you, bro.
Right now, I'm in my basement, so you can find me here. Sounds like Pretty Lady's coming down with Smicks, so that's good. But you can find me Door Sports Dynasty. Pretty soon I'll have a couple other shows, and again, thank you, Ben, for having me on, and to everybody who's watching Ben Cornett tonight, much love, and y'all have a good one, and drive safe down there. Like, shit's gonna get crazy, obviously, where you're at for the next couple of days, so be careful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'll be pretty much home. I'm gonna be watching game. If I were rich, I probably would have got a ticket, but I don't have that money. So, but the TV is the next best thing. So, Andrew, appreciate you coming on, bro. And you're always welcome anytime. And I can't wait to see what you got going in the near future, bud.
Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, you too.
Thanks. All right, guys. What a good episode tonight. I want to thank Mr. Andrew Faubert, Mr. Scott Thaler, all you guys in the comments section. Appreciate you coming out, supporting the show tonight. It's quite a show we had at it. We talked about the Super Bowl. We talked about movies, man, TV shows. That's what you get right here on Have At It. So if you're new to the channel, new to the show, that's what we do. We just have at it with any topic about anything. And that's what you got. So with that being said, before we go, I just want to let you know that you, again, follow me on X at BennyBoy702. And my YouTube channel is BenCornett9015. On Facebook in the Ben Zone, and if you're an Instagrammer, you can follow me at Ben702 forever. So, everybody, enjoy the Super Bowl. Have a great weekend. Have fun. Whatever you do it safe. And we will be back here next time for another episode of Have At It. Ladies and gentlemen, take care. Have a good weekend. And like I said, like, subscribe, and share this show and all my other shows. And have a good weekend. And we will see you next time on Have At It. Take care.